Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ideally Though.
Ideally, though.
I'm your host Erica, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butter bitch boy.
Here. What up, yo?
I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day.
I did.
Yeah,
I definitely did. I spent the whole day with you, which was great.
I had to work,
I didn't.
so it was like working, being frustrated. Like, oh, y'all know it's my anniversary, it's Valentine's Day, and y'all just loaded me
Yeah.
up.
Uh, we had a special day at work on our anniversary, and it always tends to happen for me whenever I like either plan something or I'm about to do something, and then like something comes up,
Mm.
and the thing I work on, got released, and that's pretty cool. But at the same time, I wasn't there to celebrate or anything. But I also didn't want to. I told them I wasn't gonna do a goddamn thing unless something was on fire. So
I wonder what like everybody did for Valentine's Day, or what you are used to doing, or if you have a preference on what you want to do. Do you think women should plan Valentine's Day?
I feel like that would be kind of different, a little weird, maybe. I don't know.
It's like a woman's holiday,
Yeah, I
so it
feel
should
like it's a
be
woman's holiday.
the man
Yeah.
planning it, and it got to be good.
Yeah. You kind of set the standard for things.
I think that if you're over probably 25, um, I mean, it's all everybody's a different type of woman, but no, you cannot take me to Applebee's for Valentine's Day.
Wasn't there a list about that? Like the restaurants
Exactly.
you
Are you
can't.
fucking dumb? Are you dumb? No.
That's
It
great.
would be even better if you planned something cute at home, a picnic or something cute. You had a whole bunch of like different meats and cheeses and
And
stuff like that.
delectables.
And stuff like that. I could go for that, but like, oh baby, let's just go get a Little Caesars pizza.
Who does that on
I'd be
Valentine's
like,
Day?
well, we about to end this
You're
relationship.
gonna be single on Valentine's Day.
When we went to the restaurant, I'm like looking around, I'm like, there's a theme here. It's a lot of older people here.
Yeah,
A lot of people can spend a little bit of coin, but they're older, so they're like, listen, we ain't dressing up,
yeah.
but I'll take you to a nice
Well,
restaurant.
because they've been together with people they've been with for like 20 or 30 years.
It
I don't
looks
need
like
to
it.
impress. You know what I mean? We're
That's
here to
why I
have a good
think,
dinner.
yeah, I think that's what they're like. Listen, I've been with your ass for 45 years.
You've seen it.
Yeah. But you gave me some like roses, and we had some edible arrangements. I
Yes,
love a good
you
chocolate
do.
strawberry.
You do.
Got some presents
You
and
did.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like I had a good Valentine's Day. I always look forward to dinner,
Yeah, me
so I
too.
can get a little couple cocktails. Give me some nice little steak or something like that if I'm
Yeah.
in the mood for steak, because I try to stay away from the beef,
I'm always
but
in the mood for steak.
whatever. But I know sometimes it can be a lonely holiday for people.
Some
So
people.
yeah, I
Yeah.
always say just keep busy and do something for yourself. Listen, if I was single, I'm bringing flowers. I'm delivering flowers to myself. I will have edible arrangements come to me, even if I was a man. Listen, and I believe I was probably a man in the
In your past life?
yeah, in my past life I was probably a man, but
Funny.
I know how to treat myself. So you always need somebody to do something for you. Go ahead and a month in advance, order them edible arrangements, get you some flowers to your house, like Cher did on Clueless. Like you
Like
can do it too.
shared it on
You can do
Clueless.
it. But it can be lonely, and then you get people who are a little like, oh fuck down.
Yeah, you could do that. That's always great. You
Yeah,
could just
pamper
be the
yourself.
internet hater and just
Oh well, not that.
consistently just hate on everybody who's happy. That's always fun too.
Oh gosh. I mean, I guess on to better things, but we had the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yes,
We I should be betting because I told y'all who was gonna win. I
you
said
did.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs, and what happened?
I only picked because you picked them. Yeah,
I should have put a couple $100 on the game.
we did say
You know
that.
what? This was like the most televised Super Bowl in history.
Mhm.
It was like 2.2, like 2 million, over 200,
Some big number in the
big
twos.
number, right?
Okay.
But I feel like it's always climbing, so I don't know if it really is like.
That's weird because I feel like over the last few years I feel like it's been up and down and falling and stuff. So like maybe a year is better than the prior year, but then it fell again.
I don't know, but I mean, I think people at the end, like after the halftime show, they were saying their shits about Usher.
Yeah,
I thought he did amazing, and I think when people look back on it, they're like, no, he did his thing.
yeah. I thought it was pretty good. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot. Now, would I say it's like one of the top five?
Yes,
No, I
to
wouldn't.
me.
I don't think it would be in a top 5 category. Maybe
Who are
top
you?
10.
Who are you putting in your top five Super Bowl? You don't even watch
Firstly, I
football.
don't. Well, I was gonna say that I don't really watch Super Bowl that often, but I know you're not gonna more or less top Prince or Michael Jackson.
That's okay. You
But
got
then,
two.
right? But then you have other ones. But I've honestly not watched them. But I'm relatively sure you're not gonna put. Most people aren't gonna put Usher's in the top 5. Probably top 10, which I think is okay. I think that's okay. I think a top 10 performance out of
I
all the
would
ones that we've
probably,
had, it's pretty fucking
I
awesome.
would probably put him in top five because I'm gonna be biased against like, and when I say, oh, Bon Jovi and stuff. No, I wouldn't because I don't listen to them
Right,
people.
but some people
Yeah,
might feel that way. I think personally it could be a little bit of a personal bias because it was just like the smallest snippet of the show. Like you had
yeah.
mentioned that to me. It's like, oh, that kind of feels like exactly like the show.
Yeah, it's just crunched down into
Hmm.
13 minutes of
Yeah.
a 2 hour show. Yes.
Yeah, and if he was able to stay on that Super Bowl stage, it would probably be number 1. I
Yeah,
would
because
grant that.
we were all like, I think that you okay, yeah, yeah, it was switching. The song was so fast. We were
Yeah.
like, God
I
damn.
think that was my biggest complaint. I mean, the song, but then again, he has such a huge catalog that when, like the last episode, when we said, like, how are you gonna fit all that catalog into like 13, 14 minutes?
I knew he was gonna put all of them in there too. I just knew it.
And he did.
The only thing I could say maybe that he could have done, like he did such a big production, you
Hmm.
can't even say, oh, you should have did this. Maybe coming from the Raptors, that's the only other thing. And if they would have maybe gave him 20 minutes, then yes, we could have been grooving a little bit more.
That's fair.
But he did more than most people have done.
I like the professionalism that was displayed because after all that, things started to come out like there was a person who slipped and fell that was injured, one person that got thrown up like actually fell and hurt themselves. He had a couple wardrobe malfunctions that you didn't even really see on camera
That's
because he
good.
handled it. You know what I mean? That just shows the kind of like stature of a
He's a
performer
performer.
he
Yeah.
is. Exactly. So I gotta say it was really good. I mean, I didn't give a fuck about the game. I honestly just wanted to see him perform, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I got my just dues, I guess.
I was like, okay, you throwing people over in the air, y'all be rollerblading. You better be lucky it wasn't raining out here.
Yeah, right.
Um, but there were some people who were, I feel like Gen Z, who was like, oh, millennials, what y'all got to say about this Usher show? Because it wasn't good. Yes, it was. It
I
was really good.
don't have to really care about the opinions of people who can't vote or anything
So,
like that, or who choose
okay,
not to. So
catch it.
yeah, those types of people don't. You don't know anything. You like little Uzi Vert. Let's be quiet.
Who do you want to see next that maybe has not done a Super Bowl that you'd be like, they would be really good?
Has Chris Brown done one?
No, we should have Chris
He
Brown.
would be in the top 5 guaranteed. I feel that one in my bones. He's that top tier of a performer. I feel like he's gonna be he would tip the scale. I feel like he
Do
would.
you think they'll allow him to because of pass? I feel like they look at a lot of things like when you go to get a passport, doing background checks. Do you think they're going to allow my friend to
Nowadays,
do Super Bowl?
nowadays, the background check is kind of what most people do now. They just gonna check you out your digital footprint or footprint in general, right?
Hmm.
So I feel like that's just gonna come with the scrutiny of like with social media and shit.
With the whole Rihanna thing?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
with all of that. So no matter what's the case, he's been fighting it all this time because he did the thing. I'm sure he can fight through that before. He just would need the support behind him to be like, we don't give a fuck what you guys say. We're making him the halftime show.
Let's be honest. He puts out an album not once, twice a year. He's very consistent, been consistent since he
Yeah.
came out. He's a performer like Beyonce, like
Entertainer,
Usher,
yeah.
entertainer. He's gonna dance. He's gonna give you everything. I think we should give Usher, if not next year, because it's going to New Orleans. Let's give
Mm-hmm.
him the 60th. Or if it's the 60th, they might bring out multiple people. Can we get a little bit of like a 30 minute?
That'd be cool.
And we can bring out multiple
Make them
people.
longer. That would
Yeah.
be interesting. I wouldn't mind that because I do only really do pay attention to the halftime show parts anyway. So
Mm.
that would be very interesting to see longer performances. I mean, because if you go back to like the 90s, I mean, they had when Michael Jackson did it, he didn't move for like 15 minutes, and they had like the doubles on the lights and shit that jumped out of the stage and all that shit. And he did the whole jam where he just stands there and like switches his head for like 10 minutes. So give Usher more time. Give our performers more time.
15, 10 minutes. Did it really be like 3 minutes or something like that?
No,
2 minutes?
it was long. They allowed Michael that time.
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson.
It's
You
Michael
know what
Jackson.
I'm saying?
It's the same. They didn't shut down the Prince. It was supposed to get shut down, but they didn't shut down Prince's performance because it was raining. You don't do it if it's an act of God and he's singing Purple
I
Rain.
was a little nervous that he was gonna get electrocuted.
That's what the concern was, but he rolled with it.
It was
So
amazing.
if anything, if we are allowing our calibers or artists of those caliber, excuse me, to perform that way, if I'm gonna have Beyonce or Rihanna or any of those people, Usher or those people on stage, give them more time, bro. Because cutting off superstar the way they did hurt my soul.
Oh yeah, it was real good though. You know what I'm saying? Real good. Do you think with the it being the most watched Super Bowl that we have to give it a little bit to the Taylor Swift and her Swifties?
Oh, I hate that. Okay. Oh.
She brings a I don't know. I think she brings a lot to
I get it because her and that like Kelsey guy, right, or whatever, like the super couple or whatever the fuck. And yes, if you're that big of a person, your beehive, your Swifty hive or whatever is gonna come up behind you and be like, oh, I now like football. You know,
right. You know, you never seen that girl at the games. Now she over there.
Right.
Rude.
So I mean, yes, you gotta give credit to the Swifties in that way. When I think Beyonce did it a couple of years ago or whatever, right? I mean, her hype turned out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to say that like Taylor's influence definitely drove the numbers and the eyeballs to the game. Do I like it? No.
Now, you know what? Now that I'm so like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and that's been my initiative for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Like when I put my mind to it, I'll do it. I think that I'm really going to shoot for the 60th football. So in 2 years, I'm going to try to go to the Super Bowl. The tickets are expensive, but I don't care. I'm a boss bitch, and I'm going to really try my hardest to go to the Super Bowl because everybody and their mom was at the Super Bowl, and it was out here. And I was like, dang, I could really be, networking and hanging out with my friends. Because that's the group of people that I want to hang out with.
Fair.
But it was a lot of good people. They did announce a couple of days ago that it's going to be in New Orleans.
Oh, cool.
So, I don't want to go there in February. So let's see where in 2 years where they go and save up my little coin.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
All right. So next thing I want to talk about, we talked about this last week briefly, was the Monique interview with Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
Now I know you watched it. I didn't watch all of it. I have this love-hate relationship when it comes to Monique interviewing because it's been like this tour, this just tour of like, this person did me wrong, this person did me wrong, this person did me wrong. And I get it. But on the other hand, I don't always want to hear it because then that makes you look like just this scorned, angry black woman, and you're a comedian, and it's starting to feel like you're not a comedian. I like rarely get glimpses of you laughing and smiling. It's just like the strong, very serious auntie that you're like, oh damn, I'm about to get scorned. I'm about to get disciplined by this aunt right now, and I got to sit here and listen. I kind of want a little bit of a glimpse of like, you doing good, and let's put a little bit more jokes out. She was joking a little bit with Shannon Sharp about like, don't be dating them young girls and stuff like that. But I was just like, it's this tour for years now, and I want to hear something a little bit different.
I can agree and disagree with you here. I agree with you in the sense that like the story has been told, and a lot of people who at least paid attention at that point in time did listen. And it does get repetitive because it has been told over the same years. But if you are telling the story and no one is actually listening because your circumstance hasn't changed, is it fair for her to then continue to say it until she gets to a platform that is that megaphone? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like she's been on, for me, I thought she'd been on multiple platforms that were of caliber that she has she had voiced her concerns. So I'm just wondering.
But does it feel like it had that same impact as it did with this one?
Yes, I do, but I'm someone who's in it, so exactly. I'm like, okay, we hear it.
I think that's my point here. With when I mentioned for those of us who paid attention to it and heard it before, those other ones did not. And with the platforms being as big as they are now, with like Club Shay Shay being the shade room of YouTube at this point, right? uh, it seems to me that it is a bit of a marketing decision, not a bad one. I'm not gonna say it's like all promo here, but the story is important to tell.
It is.
So I agree that it is way too often that it was told because we were there,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's fresh on the people's minds now because platform wise.
To some people, to me, it's kind of like being in a party with someone that you always see at the parties, right? We go to the same parties and they tell the same joke,
I get
and
it.
you're like, okay, or the same story, and you're like, okay, I get it because I'm a black woman in this entertainment business because I am, book me. But I don't know. It's just, I think it brings me to a point where it came with her versus Taraji giving out the message, right?
Okay.
So, what do you think is the difference between Taraji saying it versus Monique?
Platform. And
Platform, really?
platform and influence. Yes, because of the fact that Monique has not been in our faces, yet Taraji has been for the last fucking 6, 7 years.
I think that it has to do with delivery and receiving. Now, Taraji, you know, we're black. I'm a black woman, and you know, we're supposed to be these strong women who supposed to, yeah, you know, we'll get it next time. We'll do this. We'll keep working hard. We'll keep working hard. And honestly, when you think of someone like a white woman with they cry versus a black woman cry, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, they need the help and all that. So it kind of feels like as black women, sometimes we have to kind of docile our tone with things.
Mm.
You have to change up your tone. You know how sometimes you got that phone voice and stuff like that? Monique don't change
Code
it up.
switching is what you're
Code
referring
switching.
to, yes.
Monique don't code switch.
I don't think
So,
she should have to.
but sometimes when you want it received, you sometimes have to code switch, right? Because sometimes you're coming off to people and you can't help it, like this angry big black woman.
But what if that is your brand?
I mean,
I don't know. It's such a sensitive topic because of the fact in my head that like ultimately the biggest goal is being missed.
right. And I know she should not have to code switch, but as black people, we always are code switching. We have to sometimes to get our point across, to get what we need, to get what we want. So, and I'm not saying that Taraji did this, but Taraji, all she had to do was wipe her little tear on the side of her, and it was genuine. But she wasn't loud with it. She wasn't like this crazy anger. And I'm not saying that what Monique did was wrong, but I'm just
boisterous.
yeah. What I'm saying is they took it better with Taraji because she didn't come off like
I think
to what some people might think is.
I also think they took it better with Taraji because of the fact that she's been in our face.
That could be a thing.
I'm not saying Monique isn't like the easiest to deal with. I've even heard stories and read things online that like she was not the greatest to deal with, and the whole sweet babies and darlings and things are part of the character. However, that can be the thing that be the catalyst that make people like, I don't know about you. To the same degree, if I'm blackballed and I've got this recording of like Tyler Perry saying he did me wrong and all these other things, and before when I told the story, nobody wanted to believe me, and I was called all these liars, and I was blackballed, but now I have the evidence, and I'm on this massive platform. It is a significant carpe diem where she's seizing the moment.
Yeah, but do you think that I don't feel like it's really changing so much for her?
I think it did.
Because
she ended up on a tour. Because she's now with Cat Williams, who did the same exact thing and who was going through the same shit before because people were like, oh, he's crazy or he's on something. It's accountability sake in the middle of this entertainment massive like Me Too movement and these people are call out and all this other stuff. I think it's a bit of them taking a look at the other playbooks of all these other people who've done these things the last couple of years and go, I'm gonna do it my way. This is why I said that I don't think she needs to code switch because, and if she is code switching, it is the sweet chunny honey child baby shit.
We don't even.
We should just get it out there and say, speak your truth.
Now, I don't think Monique code switch, and I think that's I hate to say it, but I think that's sometimes what is the problem. I'm just saying in Hollywood,
that's fair.
They want us to act and show bold and all that for them, and show that we can be really nice and easy and very, to work with. She doesn't do that, so that's why it took so long. and you have to get. Taraji wasn't on no crazy big platform to do all that, right? She is in our face, but she's also not yelling it to us or having. It's not a big ass press tour of how she's been done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She can say it. This is what it is. I'm confirming what Monique and a lot of other black women and actors are saying,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not this long tour that is going on and going on and going on, and then also this person. That also doesn't look good either.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand you already said Tyler Perry, you already said Lee Daniels, Oprah, but then you have the interview with Shannon Sharp, and then you bring more people out. Like, thank you, Kevin Hart, but I did this with D.L. Hughley, but and it's like, damn, like you kind of feel like if I don't do what she said, that's how I looked at it a little bit. If I don't do what she says, or if I don't something, then you're gonna call me out, and it should be like we can have a disagreement. Okay, I didn't work with you. You know, like the Kevin Hart thing, I was like, okay, come on now. Okay, he ain't got the time to work with you or whatever the case may be, and all that stuff that happened. Like, do we have to always call everybody?
I think the Kevin Hart situation was a bit different because if I'm telling you by my word that I'm gonna do something with you and then completely ghost you, and then the company comes back and tells you that Kevin Hart doesn't want to work with you anymore, it's a bit of that's a slight to me personally.
Can I say this? They do that in Hollywood all the time. You know, so
cool.
It's just I think it's a Hollywood thing.
Don't call me your auntie and one of your influencers, and then make me feel like this is a safe space.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying? The whole thing is very, very. It's compelling to me because I like to see. I suffer from high Schadenfreude when I see people fail. So but when it comes to me, I like seeing the backlash on some of the people involved in these things. Yes, Monique is getting some, but I like the fact that Kevin Hart's getting it because he's human and he has made himself to look like he's way too perfect.
I get it because your word does to me means everything, right?
It's your bond.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it in a way of even with how like Cat Williams said he was like a plant, like it's Hollywood. He's Hollywood. He's Hollywood. Yeah. Not everybody is just I'm straight Baltimore. That's straight
fair.
this.
That is fair.
A lot of people are playing the game, so you don't know that man like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's Hollywood.
Yeah.
I would treat everybody as such until they prove me wrong on a consistent basis.
That's fair.
Because I'm just saying, human beings gonna be human beings. I just like, okay, I get it. He didn't do it. It's fucked up. But like, now you calling everybody. I just like, okay.
Everybody is fallible in this. I think everybody's fallible.
I think honestly though, just like coworkers and things like that, I can work with you. We ain't besties. Right? Beyond this, I really won't talk to you. If they act like that in a certain way, then because then, unfortunately, you're burning bridges. Maybe he wanted to come back with you.
World burn.
Yeah.
Some people like to watch the world burn. I'm kind of one of those people, to be honest.
Was there anything else from the interview that was like kind of struck you that you were like, okay?
After watching it and even hearing you at this moment, I'm getting a lot of mental comparisons to what I've been hearing about Dave Chappelle, wherein he doesn't seem like a comic anymore, more just a storyteller about topics that are pertinent in the world at the moment. And the loss of comedy is scary to me in this.
Sucks.
It feels very like we're losing a bit of truth. There's comedy comes from tragedy. And there's a bit of truth in all of these things that most of these comedians say, right? Because they're saying the things that we are thinking in most cases.
And that we're afraid to say.
Exactly. And with this entire situation, it feels like everybody's pointing the finger at each other, like that Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm like, can we stop it?
Yeah.
I love Monique. Don't get me wrong. I love her. Probably one of my favorite female comedians. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I want to get back to the basics.
Yeah.
The comedians, like you said, pointing fingers and no one's on the same team anymore. Yeah. It's kind of weird. And that's the part I have the issue with when it comes to the talking about everybody. I'm like, so you guys are all now against each other, right? And don't even get me started with that whole D.L. Hughley thing and her. It just looks really nasty, and you guys are not leaving a good impression for young comedians or people who they're like, come on, we can come up together, because you guys are looking really thickly.
It's not like it is a community
anymore,
because you would think like comedians stand together. I mean, when people were getting canceled let's say 8, 9 years ago,
Yeah.
comedians would like it was a fucking joke,
Yeah.
and they would stand their ground like 10 toes down on it and defend that comedian. But now
No
it's
one's.
almost throwing each other under the bus.
And I understand Monique feeling that way herself.
True.
So she's like, okay, every man for themselves.
That's
then fuck
valid.
it.
That's valid.
But I'm just like, I would be nervous if somebody's like, oh, Monique's coming out here. Do you want to go? Because I'm like, am I going to hear another interview or am I going to get some jokes?
That's the same thing. Like I said, that's the Dave Chappelle comparison there. Too many people have now said that, like, I miss when he would just tell funny jokes. And that was it. I don't want to hear about the trans stuff. I don't want to hear about this other stuff. Just make me laugh.
And if it's going to blend in, then blend in.
Yeah.
Instead of like telling this whole long drawn out story and then here comes one, punchline. It's like, we need more jokes then because we've already heard it, right?
It's too much tragedy as it is in the world right now. I mean, can we get some ha-has and guffaws?
Yeah. I'm like, yes, you've been blackballed. Yes, all this stuff has happened, but guess what? You're alive.
Right.
You are on tour.
Yeah.
Even without Cal Williams, she's touring.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where they can come to a resolution because I'm actually tired of hearing about it.
I don't think there will be one until most people, really pay more attention to how their contracts and how things look and be more personable in the entertainment business. But I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. It's a fucking Ouroboros snake that eats itself.
And then like the whole thing when Shannon Sharp talked about like her son and then she said she doesn't really have a relationship.
There was that too.
And then her son, he actually did two. He went online twice. He went online yesterday and then earlier in the week. And when I listened to him, it was kind of like I went back to my teenage or myself with my relationship with my parents, and I was like, I get it. It's something about our parents' generation with them saying, I'm here, you can come to me, and it's like and making this persona of we're such good people and I don't know why they're tripping. No, that's a facade.
Yeah.
And we understand that you're such a great person outside of your family.
Right.
But I have this issue with people always saying, go to your parent, go to your mom, go to your dad, like I gave birth to them. I'm the child.
They should be coming to me.
They should be coming to me. Not I'm over here.
Yeah.
And never offering up an apology or accountability is a really big issue.
You got to have accountability as a parent. And he did speak to a lot of that being her problem, which is why I mentioned it earlier. That sweet baby and all that other stuff, coming from him, he's saying it's just mostly an act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you can be sweet baby to everybody else, but not to me.
Yeah, but not to me. It's weird. It's an ugly situation. You can go on media and paint yourself in a real light, but you can't. You got to understand, like, these things that we're looking at are recording everything you are doing, and the people outside who aren't sitting in this recording are gonna tell your truth too, because they know you.
Yeah.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
I think the first thing you need to do before you start pointing fingers, no matter what, fix your household first.
Yeah, fix home.
Fix home, because this is when people pop up like your son. This isn't a great aunt who's like, yeah, she's been a bitch. No, it's your son. It's your son, and he has real life things he's saying.
Yeah. And that makes it more culpable when it's something that's your seed. When it's like right off
like I've been living this.
Oh, I understand. I'm the closest thing to her. You know what I mean? That type of shit. It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I hate the back and forth because Monique is very good at, let me go on live. Hey, sweet babies. He lying. Here's the text messages that we did have. I've been trying, but I'm like 2021 text messages.
Yeah.
It's 2024.
So you didn't try enough.
Or come on now. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So briefly, I think I showed you earlier in the week the new pictures for Jafar did dressed up as Michael Jackson. Do you like how he's looking?
Yeah, he looks pretty much 1-to-1 to Mike.
Do you like the nose? I didn't know if I really like the nose. They always tend to make it a little bit bigger.
Nobody's gonna get the nose right. Michael couldn't get the nose right. Only one that did was God, and he chopped it off. So it's
Jesus Christ.
So I mean, at the end of the day, does it look like a nose? Does it look like it could smell?
I don't know. Michael
That's all it needs.
Like he could smell, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
Jafar, I think, is the perfect person to play his uncle. He is genetics first.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like him. Yeah.
Yeah, his dad. They was in the Jackson 5, grandfather talk. Yeah, I think it's really good. I saw pictures of Coleman Domingo playing What's the daddy name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, okay, I see it. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those pictures, and I was like,
I
yeah,
did not see
definitely.
Nia Long. How she look?
She looks good. She can play. She's definitely going to play Catherine very well.
Similar to Angela Bassett.
I think she'll rival it.
Does she look better? Okay, from that American Dream to the picture you saw.
Angela Bassett didn't look attractive as Catherine, so I can't say.
Damn, but she looked like you would.
No, I mean, she just Catherine? Looks like. No.
Nia Long's version. Nia Long version.
I mean, you might take Long, yes.
You take Catherine down the path.
Yeah, but she does look like she'll rival it. And it does seem like the chemistry looks good. Really? I'll say the chemistry looks good. So I'm excited for it because as we talked about it earlier last week, I think it was like, the only thing we have is the American Dream, right? The Jackson story.
They actually did good
and
job.
that was decent. And with this one in particular, it looks like they're really doing their homework. I think the estate is fully involved.
Yay!
And with that comes a lot more than what we're not just gonna probably get only Michael's story. We're gonna probably get Jackson 5 as a whole into Michael's story.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I like the most. Because I'm all about the origin stories of things. I love that lore and backstory stuff. And American Dream did it well, and this one being for the newer age and keeping, the music alive. I won't say everything else, but the music alive is important to me at least.
Yeah, because I think when I seen other biopics of Michael Jackson, it went straight to him being adulthood, and I was like, I don't want to see this because I'm living it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see stuff that I was here in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s, and I want to know some background
things
stuff.
I'm not privy to.
Yeah. I don't want to see no 2003 stuff. I'm like, I know that shit. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. That's definitely gonna be something I'm gonna go see in the theaters for sure.
You think it's gonna come out in theaters or it's gonna go around? Okay.
I think it would. If I'm the Jackson estate, it's contractual that it needs to go worldwide because he went worldwide. You know how much money we're gonna fucking get? No, China alone. Ding.
All right, so I was going to talk about this last week, but it slipped my mind. We had so much going on, but 2 women have come forward and accused Jonathan Majors of emotional and physical abuse. So 2 more women. God damn.
Yikes.
It's like, what are you doing?
This nigga is really the nigga from Creed 3.
Right. Okay. I'm like, I'm scared.
Megan, you got to shoot his big ass.
I'm like, Megan Good, walk away.
Sure, man.
Walk away.
Blink once if you need help.
A part of me really feels like they like, listen, can you please help him and make his image better? Ain't no way they can't talk me out of that.
Of course that's what it is. Everybody feels that way, and I'm 100% sold that she's just there to be Megan Good, please fix my image.
Don't touch me. We're not kissing. I can hold your hand. I have stipulations on what I got to do. So...
wild. Ugh, that's wild. I mean, come on, dog. Also, that interview he didn't do him any justice, and now with these other forthcoming people coming out, it's like, oh, you just was out here trying to save face.
Just don't get Jonathan Majors, you upcoming black actors.
Yeah, don't get Jonathan Majors. It's now a verb.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. On to a little bit, and this is probably the last thing I want to talk about. No, I have a couple more things. So tech-wise, since you didn't really have anything tech-wise to give me, I'm just giving a little bit. I like to switch. I'm code switching too. Okay. So with the Super Bowl that we just had, it is the first in history to be entirely powered by renewable energy at the Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
So through a 25-year agreement with NV Energy, the stadium utilized solar power from a new installation, generating around 10 megawatts of energy. So this kind of equals to about powering 46,000 homes.
Yeah.
NV Energy, like we could use our bills to go a little lower. Y'all, or give us a free month.
Yeah, they should. I mean, living in the desert alone, you would think that NV Energy would have some type of plan to like, hey, we're going to just put solar everywhere here.
It's a monopoly. We don't have no other freaking power companies,
right?
And we have to deal with them.
It's trash, and I really wish we had other competitors out here, other factories and plants or some shit. I could just go, I'm gonna get my money over here to these people and get more wattage or whatever the fuck it is.
I think honestly though, it's really irresponsible if you are a homeowner and you don't have solar.
I think so too.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, self-sustaining alone as it is, you know what I'm saying?
Come
And
on,
they
it's
give
hurt.
you tax credits and shit
Yeah,
for it. It's
I feel
smart.
like you're
It's
just
smart.
a asshole if you're like, no, I don't want to, or no, I want to put my sprinklers on in a drought. Like those assholes. Get
America.
solar, right? Get solar, okay?
Yeah.
All right. One of the last things. This is the last thing. Beyonce, she couldn't even get my man Usher his little time to shine. She just had to be on a Verizon commercial with her beautiful ass. I'm not even gonna say stupid ass. Her beautiful ass. And basically, she dropped, boom, we get Renaissance 2 Act 2,
Mm-hmm.
March 29th,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a hee-haw country album. What you think about her doing country?
I'm
She can do everything.
gonna be real with you. I'm impressed by the hee-haw.
Ride them, cowboy.
But okay. I'm not a big country fan. In fact, Toby Keith, my favorite, he passed recently, so that sucks. But I'm interested. Okay, and the only reason why I'll say this is I'm interested because she did that dance album. So she's now doing things that are so different.
I love it.
That I like it again. Like I want the artists in music and like whatever the fuck you do if you're an artist, like challenge yourself.
I love it because there's nothing in my mind that she cannot do.
That's the point I was gonna make. Exactly. She's betting on yourself means a lot. I'm gonna give it a fucking shot, and I love that. I'm just gonna give it a shot. Lupe Fiasco is my absolute favorite rapper. Right? He used to have a punk rock band called Japanese Cartoon.
That's like Ice-T.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Japanese Cartoon, and they're hard. They're hardcore, and I love it. And it's completely different. It doesn't sound like him. He goes by Wasalu, his like real name in the band and shit like that. It's so cool. And I like when artists step out of their comfort zone. There's artists that do it bad. Lil Wayne, never do a rock album ever again. But this here, I feel like Beyonce is such a fucking titan in the industry. She gonna have other artists who are already in the country realm like lighting fire on that thing. You know what I'm saying?
So like some black artists, R&B, pop, they don't like to get into country or because it's like it can be racist.
Yeah, I get it.
Like Candy Burst writes for country people. T-Pain also, he was like, I just stopped saying I want to get credited because I did run across a lot of racist comments about me writing for this country person. But I think she's such a trailblazer that she's gonna kill it. She's gonna give Taylor Swift a run for her money, and we need other people, black country people, to help out Darius Rucker. So come on, Beyonce. Now I do want to say this. Damn girl, I'm broke. I've been to a Beyonce concert before. Do I want to go to a Renaissance? Yes, I want to wear my silver and look like aluminum foil. But damn, like, it's like a lot of money. I'm going to go broke just going to see your ass for fucking 3 hours. Shit, we are done. We don't got no money. You just got done with touring. You probably going to do it again and we broke. Shit.
Inflation. And if brokies can't afford it, man, you know what?
People is willing to not pay
their rent. We're not worthy,
rent.
Apparently.
They don't want to pay their rent. They gonna max out their credit card.
There's plenty of the Beehive who are homeless and will make it to that fucking concert. So you know what?
It to me.
Shouts out to them.
I went to see Beyonce already, but it was during the single ladies. So I saw her at that time. Would I love to see her now? Yes, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not that deep into the Beehive. I'll see you on TV.
If money always come, you know what I'm saying?
It's not really crazy interesting. It's not something I'm like. Bucket list, I've already seen her. Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, that doesn't have to be a bucket list thing for me. I've seen Lupe. I would love to go see him again.
Yeah, but that's your favorite artist. I mean, Beyonce's not my favorite artist, you know. But there's people who love Beyonce. That's the mother of all mothers.
You can't fault them for that.
Yeah. So with me, I'm like, listen, I don't know if I'll be holding on to my money. Like, they would have to snatch it out of my damn cold hands.
Yeah, and that'll be hard to get off too.
But yeah, that's all I had for trendy topics. Do you have any last words of wisdom before we get out of here for the weekend?
No, I'm gonna continue my vacation.
Well, fuck you.
And enjoy myself not working. And catch us on Hedgehog. I'll say that. Okay, catch us on Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah, Hedgehog.
Another platform. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Well, I do want to let you guys know that we drop our audio every Friday. I say this all the time on all streaming platforms. And we're on YouTube on Sundays. So catch the visual on Sundays at Ideally Dope Pod.
Yep.
And like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Share that shit.
and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
You.